After a very early morning flight, the Seahawks were back in Seattle and at the VMAC for Tell the Truth Monday following their first loss of the season. Jackie Montgomery with your Seahawks Daily. Well, fans, we have been spoiled with 5 straight wins, but the Seahawks suffered their first loss 37-34 to the Arizona Cardinals. On Monday, Pete Carroll met with the media after watching the game tape to break down what he saw from the game.
No less disappointed in what happened in that game. After looking at the film and getting back and getting after it, there were so many opportunities to win the football game. We've been in these situations where we count on things to happen and the right plays happen in the right situations and the right complementary play occurs, and we just missed it. So they got a good win. It won't be long. We'll be playing those guys again. So
Russell Wilson continues to break records. On Sunday night, Wilson broke Matt Hasselbeck's franchise record for career completions. He now has close to 2,600 completions since joining the league in 2012. Wilson has thrown 22 touchdown passes this year, tied with Peyton Manning for most TDs thrown through the first 6 games of the season. He also finished with 472 all-purpose yards on Sunday night, the second most of his career.
it was a spectacular game for him in a number of ways, but it all gets clouded and mired in 3 picks, and they'll discourage you from being excited about his game. But he really played really well and made a ton of great throws in the game and great decisions to run too. So that's just life of the quarterback.
Coach Carroll said that running backs Chris Carson suffered a foot sprain and Travis Homer suffered a bruised knee in Sunday night's game. As a result, we saw Carlos Hyde play nearly half of the Seahawks offensive snaps after missing the last 2 games with a shoulder injury. He had 68 yards on 15 carries, including a 24-yard touchdown run.
Carlos is a different style runner than Chris is, but he ran the ball really well for us. So we still came downhill. He did a really nice job on the tosses on the perimeter, but he runs up inside well also. So we ran for a lot of yards on this night, and Russ helped us, with the numbers, taking what they gave him. But we felt pretty good about it. If Carlos is available to us, which we're hoping he is, then we feel like we can keep the tempo going if Chris can't make it.
Linebacker Jordan Brooks played his first game since suffering an injury in Week 3. He played 45% of the team's defensive snaps as well as contributing on special teams. The rookie was involved in some key plays and finished with 7 tackles, including 1 for a loss.
Yeah, this is what we've seen from him. He's a really good ball player, and I keep telling you, I'm excited for you guys to see how fast he is and how aggressive he is. He really plays downhill. He's just getting started, so he's got a lot of really good things to happen here in this season, and we expect him to play well and be effective now. But when he really gets his feet on the ground and really comfortable with the scheme and the rhythm of the games and all of that, he's going to be a really big factor for us.
The Seahawks defense was unable to put much pressure on quarterback Kyler Murray throughout the night. On 48 pass attempts by Murray, the Seahawks were not able to record any sacks or quarterback hits and only 1 pass breakup.
It really comes down to generating pressure on the quarterback, and it's not just the pass rushers. It's all of it. We came out of the chutes early, with pressuring and trying to get after it and create a complement, to the guys, the front 4 guys, and we're still there, and we still have to do that. We have to make it more difficult on the quarterback by harassing him. That's the whole key is that guy throwing it and making his decisions. We have to do a better job in a number of ways.
A loss is disappointing on all fronts, but Coach Carroll said that there were many learning lessons from the game tape, and this could galvanize the team as they head into this long stretch of the season.
I do, because there was a few things that happened really across the board. There was a couple penalties in special teams. There was a couple critical penalties, that really changed the game. We've been really good, with our numbers of penalties, but that was a factor in there. When we had our chance to finish, and look, we finished the game with DK in the end zone, but we had the penalty that brings it back. So I think it's just allows us to really hammer home how important it is to do things right, particularly as you're finishing down the stretch, and do things right longer than the other guys. That's basically what it's all about, to be a great finishing team. And I think this couldn't be more clear. The illustrations, when we watch the film today, the guys will totally get it and understand it, and it'll just make the messaging that much stronger.
Coach Carroll also said that Shaquille Griffin did suffer a concussion and has a slight hamstring injury, and he won't know his status until later in the week. But some good news, Coach Carroll did say that Rasheem Green has the chance to practice this week with the hopes of playing in next week's game to help bolster that defensive line. He also said that running back Rashad Penny could practice soon. Well, despite falling to 5-1 on the season, the Seahawks do sit in first place in the NFC West. The players will return to the practice field on Wednesday as they start preparing for another divisional opponent in the San Francisco 49ers.